Hello, my name is Victoria Morley, and I'm going to take you through confidence catalysts now. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. So I'm going to take you through confidence catalysts and how you can slice through glass barriers to take center stage. So my name is Victoria Morley, and I'm a calm and confidence coach specializing in Nordic inspired living and enrichment. If you've watched my other workshops, you'll know that my company is Vic Inspired and Iceland is my muse. I use a lot of creative coaching methods and Nordic inspiration in my coaching. So I work with Nordic neutralizers, confidence catalysts, which I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you a few of these today. I like to help provide fuel for firing ideas and innovation with people's businesses. And I'm very passionate about helping coaches and small business owners to unearth their ideas. I love working with people doing this sort of thing, helping you find your confidence so that you can grow your business and you can flourish. So we're going to look at that today. So why is confidence important? It's something that can really limit a person, isn't it? If we have lack of confidence, it can hold us back in many, many ways. It can stop us from reaching our goals. And really, it's the difference between thinking you can and you can't do something. So asking yourself, can I do this? Or reframing it in a way where you say, I can do this. Sometimes confidence is the key to being able to do that. So we're going to look at how we can develop that. So do you want to play the part of an extra in somebody else's life, or do you want to be the main character in your own life? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. So how can you take center stage if this is something that you're looking to do? I'm sure you've all seen this before, these clips before. So we've got, I am in a glass case of emotion. Sometimes we can kind of put ourselves in this glass case. We give ourselves limitations and we give ourselves these barriers. And it's really about how we can break out of this and be able to really go from feeling nervous and timid and limited to being able to be at our top performance and find our confidence. Just bear with me, I'm moving the Zoom screen around as I'm presenting because sometimes it shows up on my slides. So how can you go from ready to crumble like carbon to shatterproof and shining like a diamond? You're going to see a lot of transformation statements in this presentation because I'm a little bit obsessed with them at the minute. So we're going to go from feeling like we're ready to crumble and like dust really, and how we can transform that into something that's really shatterproof and strong. But before we get into that, I want to just remind you that carbon and coal still are very, very useful and valuable resources. So even if we are feeling a little bit like more like on the coal side of things, we can still ignite fire in other people. We can still have this fire within ourselves. And this is one of my drones here. We can still create something beautiful with what we have. So it's not to put anybody down. It's not to feel like anybody's less than anybody else. But it's just really using what we have, the resources that we have, to transform them into something that empowers us and makes us feel strong. So did you know that diamonds are one of the only things that can cut through glass? Were you aware of that? So here we have a drill and it has a diamond drill bit on it. And that's one of the only things that can actually cut through the glass. So you do have the ability to slice through these glass walls and these glass ceilings that you might find yourself encased in. And the best way to do that is to create these diamonds. So we're going to use catalysts today to be able to start transferring this, these resources that we have into diamonds so that we can cut through any barriers. So what are some of the catalysts that we can use to speed up the process? Okay, the first one's body language. Because changing our physiology and our physical state can instantly change how confident we look and feel to other people. So if I came on and I said to you, hello, my name's Victoria, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit today about confidence. And I was mumbling, and my body language was really sort of within myself, and I'm thinking about how my palms are sweaty and my head's hurting and my heart's racing, and I'm kind of I'm losing my voice a little bit. You're not going to feel confident watching me, and I'm not going to feel confident presenting to you. It's just not going to happen. So really, we can play around with our body language a little bit and experiment with it. We can do it in front of a mirror. We can do it now, just sitting up in your seat, having good posture, taking a deep breath and just pausing for a minute. That can make a big difference. And really just thinking about our body language, thinking about our eye contact with other people, smiling, thinking about our gestures, if we feel comfortable making gestures, things like that, that can sort of open us up so that we have more confident body language, and we will naturally feel more confident. The second one is criticism. So a lot of us are crippled with this fear of criticism from other people, and we have this terrible self-critique that's going on within our minds all the time. But I want to ask you a question here. So what do all of these people have in common? I don't know where to put my Zoom screen with everybody's faces so that everybody can see this on the recording.
Vic, when I'm looking at it, the slides are to the side of all the faces. We're not seeing it as the pictures of us are overlapping the slides.
Yeah, it's just sometimes when I'm recording it goes in front of the recording because I'm recording and presenting, but we'll see. I'm moving it around anyway, so hopefully it's not blocking things. But do you want to put it in the chat box what you think these people have in common? See what you think. And don't say all the pictures are in black and white. Confidence issues, yes. One of them, definitely. Anybody else? They're in history and the successful people. They all inspire people in the public eye. Yeah, all of those things. Out of schemes? Sorry, what do you mean by that, Marco? Original, yes, yeah. They're all innovative in some way, aren't they? And notice there's the mirror there as well. So I'm talking about you as well. So you have something in common with all of these people. Really, when you look at it, if you take it all back to basics, all these people have skin, hearts, brains, nerves, you know, self-limiting beliefs, ideas, goals, all of these things. We're all human beings at the end of the day. That's what we are. You put somebody out of their comfort zone, how are they going to feel? Uncomfortable. You put yourself in a position where you need confidence. How are you going to feel? Sometimes nervous. All of these people will have felt nervous at some time in their life, without a doubt. But it's learning how to manage it. It's learning how to counteract those nerves and turn them into confidence. So when it comes to creating, when it comes to ideas, when it comes to businesses, when it comes to public speaking, anything that requires confidence, sometimes it can help just to remember pictures like this, where you see all these celebrities, you see people who've achieved things in their life, who've put themselves out of the comfort zone. They're all human beings. They've all found their own new ways of doing things, like Marco says, innovators. And yes, some of us might want to follow a certain way of doing something, but there's a lot of us out there who want to create a new way of doing something. We want to create something unique. And it's remembering that sometimes the people that might look at us and judge us are also human beings. We're all humans, so we can all make up our own ways of doing certain things. And I find this very useful when I'm creating art, when I'm writing poetry, when I'm doing anything that is unique, because I think you can make up your own way of doing anything in life, really, if you think about it. You can think of your own way of doing anything. If there's a rule attached to a way of creating something, who's it made by? Another human being. What makes that human being more capable than you are of making up a way of doing something? So once you smash through that barrier and you cut through that barrier with this diamond, you realize that you have the opportunity to create something completely unique and share that with the world in the same way that all these people have. Okay. So I'm going to introduce you to a character now. This is Terry the troll. We all have an inner troll, and it's like a screwed up confidence version of Jiminy Cricket. So it's not a conscience sitting on our shoulder. It's this troll that's telling us we can't do something or that we're rubbish in some way. So he's saying that, hi, I'm Terry the troll and I'm here to crush your dreams. So I'm going to show you how you can sort of get rid of him as we go through. Now, you might want to name your troll something completely different. I would recommend using alliteration because obviously it rolls off the tongue and we all like a bit of alliteration, don't we? So I'd be glad to hear what you want to name your trolls later on, but this is just for the sake of this presentation, this is Terry. So step 3 is to reframe rejection. Now, I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but it isn't always about you. It just isn't. Sometimes we feel like everything is about us, and we can be so super sensitive to whatever's happening around us that we forget that sometimes it isn't actually a rejection. It isn't actually a personal rejection of us as an individual. So most of the time, you'll find that rejection is about the other person. It's what they're going through. It's their personal tastes. It's everything that's shaped them in their life up until this point. That's what has maybe caused them to react in a certain way to a certain situation. It isn't about us as an individual in most instances. So remembering that can be very freeing as well. That can smash down another wall that we might have where we're frightened constantly of putting ourselves out there in case we're met with rejection. So Terry the troll here is saying, sometimes my human lets me out and project my insecurities through the keyboard. We've all seen keyboard warriors and trolls online and people who sort of project their insecurities on other people. Oh, that's rubbish. Oh, this is rubbish. And it's usually about them, isn't it? Most of the time. It's a lot of the time it comes from jealousy or their own insecurities. So we have to be very careful that our inner troll isn't doing exactly the same thing in our brain and projecting insecurities onto ourselves. So step 4, draw from the well. So really this is asking ourselves for help, because there will be some time in your past that you felt confident, and there will be times in your future that you will feel confident. So what we can do is we can relive the past experiences. We can go back and remember a time when we felt at our absolute most confident, when we were in a comfortable situation, we felt like we owned the room, we were in control of what was happening, and remember how that feels and use that memory to sort of fuel our confidence today in the present. And we can also future pace how we want to feel in the future. So we can envisage ourselves in the future in our most confident state, how we want to feel, and step into that future self. So step into that version of us that we would like to embody, and you will naturally stand taller. You can even draw confidence from other people. If you look at celebrities or people that you respect, how they carry themselves. If you absorb some of that confidence for yourself, you will be able to use it in whatever situation you find yourself in. Find your main character moment theme tune. Now, I've stolen this from my children because sometimes if one of them sitting, I went to the beach the other day, one of them was sitting staring at the space and the other one went, look at her, she's having a main character moment. And I thought, I love that, I'm going to pinch it. So we all have main character moments where we're kind of sitting there thinking, you know, thinking about life, and it would be as if the main character's having a pensive moment on a film. But really, we've talked about music quite a lot during the course of this week. It's come out in various workshops, but music's very powerful, isn't it? It's something that can really empower us. So what song makes you strut? What song makes you feel confident? What is going to be your main character moment theme tune? So this is when you're going to take center stage. You're not going to be an extra in your own life. You're going to take center stage. Put that song on before you have to do something. So I had a song on before I came on to do this presentation. You can have a little dance, get rid of some of your energy, your pent up energy. And really, I'm going to talk a little bit in a minute about how you can use this to transform your energy. But this song, if you put it on, or a playlist, whatever it is, will help you to get straight back in that confident zone that you want to be in. And it'll just make you feel good and feel lifted. So I've got Will Ferrell here again. Run through your glow up montage in your head. We've all seen films where there's been a glow up. You know, you've got your main character montage where maybe the down in the gutter and the feeling low, and then they have to go through all these this transition, but they put it in a montage, don't they? So you watch it happen really quickly. Run through your montage in your head, where you are now to where you want to be, as if it's a film reel, and just allow yourself to absorb that, and it'll help you to see it playing out and to embody what you want to do. Terry the troll saying, turn down that power ballad so you can hear my pointless input. I just want to say one thing as well about the song. If you have got that music on, you're listening to the lyrics and you're feeling empowered by it, it's almost as if you can imagine turning that negative self-talk down on a dial. So imagine that you actually turn it down, you can't hear it anymore, and the music's drowning it out. So that's another way that you can counteract the self-criticism. Okay, so number 6, change your energy. Now, I'm sure that you've all experienced many times the feeling that you get before you have to do something, that build up, that negative energy that you have in your stomach. It's like a knot, isn't it? And it's about turning that negative or unhealthy energy into something useful and something that can make you feel strong. So turning anxiety and nerves into excitement and anticipation. And those emotions are very close. Oh, here's Ali with a crown on. So remind yourself and Terry that ball of tangled energy that you can feel in the pit of your stomach, that you feel like when you feel like your stomach's eating itself and you're going to get an ulcer, that sort of feeling. Tell yourself that it's actually excitement and good anticipation, and this is going to be amazing, this is going to be great, and your body will start to think, oh, is it? Oh yes, it is actually, yeah, this is going to be great, and you'll start to embody it and you'll start to feel more confident.
I just put my crown on and I feel better already.
Good. I've left my top hat in the other room. So number 7, embrace the blips. So every film has outtakes. Learn to laugh. If you have a sense of humor, then you will feel more confident. It's guaranteed, because If you're too stringent and too, what's the word? It's not strict. I'm not thinking of the word strict. If you're too strict with yourself, you'll snap, won't you? If you're too rigid, that's it. If you're too rigid, you'll just snap. If you allow your personality to come out, if you allow yourself to have your sense of humor, and you don't take yourself too seriously. Obviously, we have to take ourselves seriously in the workplace and be professional. But if something happens that's out of our control, then we have an option of either thinking, I am absolutely mortified and I'm going to go and have a little cry when this is finished and I'm never going to show my face again. Or we can think, well, I'm just going to laugh it off a little bit. So what? It's not the end of the world, is it? But Terry the Troll's saying, boo, I like it when they cry. So he wants you to feel he's sort of a cheerleader for failure in the corner there. And you'll find as well that nerves sort of follow the need to be perfect and in control. So it's, if you feel like you want every single thing to go to plan all of the time, and you want to be completely in control of every situation, you're in for a disappointment. Because that's not going to happen. That's not real life, is it? There's nothing in life is going to be perfect and go completely to plan. You can hope that it goes the best it will, but if we want it to be absolutely perfect, then we're going to have nerves building in case it isn't, because it's that fear that something's going to go wrong as well that we're carrying with us. So unexpected things happen, and as Frank Sinatra says, that's life. And as Elsa said, let it go. So yeah. And then Terry the Troll's telling us everyone's going to laugh at you if you make a mistake. They're going to find it really funny and you'll never live it down. So I've crossed them out there. So we don't really need to listen to that. So step 8, prepare for success. And Ali mentioned this in the other workshop about communication, but preparing for success can help us to feel more confident because we know our stuff then. We have the tools that we need to be able to do the task at hand. And preparing ahead can be things like, are we wearing something comfortable? Is our space around us comfortable? Have we prepared our material? Do we know what we're going to say? That sort of thing. It's taking control of the things that are in our control so that we can be better equipped to deal with the things that are not in our control. So I'm just going to recap for you now. So number 1, body language, own it. Don't sit there all sort of shriveled up. Let yourself feel confident and use your body language in a way that presents and projects this confidence to other people. Silence the criticism. So tune out that inner troll, turn the sound right down. You don't want to listen to that. Obviously, healthy feedback and good, useful critique can help us to sharpen our skills and really get our craft to where we want it to be. But it's the negative things, it's the silly, unhealthy, unuseful things that are going to strip us of our confidence that we want to turn right down. Number 3, reframe rejection. I've written, it's not about you, pet. Because it isn't. So it's remembering that a lot of people will carry their own stories. They're in their own film. They're being a main character in their life, and you might cross their path as an extra. They might reject you in some way, or you might feel like they have, but it's not necessarily about you. Draw from the well. Get help from the past and the future you. So use those different versions of yourself to fuel the person that you are today, and to be able to turn that carbon, that coal, that dust that you might feel like you are, into diamonds, so that you can smash down these barriers, you can cut through the glass, and you can get to where you want to be, at home, at work, in any aspect of your life. Number 5, find your theme tune and use it to step into your main character. So step into main character mode whenever you need to. Number 6, change your energy. Turn your nerves into excitement and you will naturally feel lighter. You will feel it release, take nice deep breaths, slow it down a little bit, and you will be able to own the room. You'll be able to own the project, whatever it is that's in front of you. Embrace the outtakes. They're part of the fun of life. If everything was completely as it should be and completely on one level all of the time, it would be really, really mundane and boring. So embrace it. Life is full of ups and downs. It's part of the fun, and just learn to laugh at yourself sometimes, not take yourself too seriously. And number 8, prepare for success. And the best way to do that is to know your stuff, to be good at what you do, to prepare, to have the tools that you need. And then you can be confident and you can think, well, I know what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to take charge and take control. I'm going to smash down these barriers and these boundaries that I've put in place myself, or that society's put in place for me. I'm going to cut through them and I'm going to get to where I want to be. And it's that determination that will give you confidence. So that's me for today. If you have enjoyed listening to me, you can see my other workshops that are now on replay on YouTube. I've got Nordic Neutralizers for Calm, and this is useful for the home and the workplace, and Fire and Ice for wellness in the workplace as well. They're both available on replay, and you can connect with me at Vic Inspired UK. I could talk about confidence all day, so I am thinking about putting it into some sort of course format. If you're interested in hearing more about that, or working with me to develop more confidence catalysts for yourself, just get in touch and we can have a chat about it. But yes, I hope that you are enjoying the week, and that's been Confidence Catalysts. So thank you very much, everybody.